15 years ago, I walked out through the emergency room doors into a cold, dark, rainy night. I had just worked a 36-hour shift in the cardiac care unit of the emergency room. And I was so exhausted. Still wearing my hospital greens, I walked out through those dark, wet streets to my car, and I drove home to the adorable little apartment that I had so naively rented at the beginning of my residency, thinking that I would actually be there in the daylight. And I walked into that dark little space, and I threw my stuff on the ground, and I threw myself on the ground. And I lay there, and I just sobbed and sobbed. I had no idea how I was going to get through the rest of my life. I was $100,000 in debt. I'd been in university for 11 years at that point. This was all I knew how to do. And there were a couple of significant problems with my having chosen emergency medicine as a career. And these are true. The first is that I panic under pressure. I'm not kidding. Meredith saw a little bit of that earlier. Yes, I am the very last person you want standing in front of you if you ever have a heart attack. In fact, I will finish having my own heart attack before you. Not what you want. The second significant problem, and this is also true, is that I can't stand the sight of large amounts of blood. And I won't tell you how it was that I found that out, but I didn't discover until I was in my residency. And again, not a thing that you're looking for in an emergency room physician when you are in the greatest crisis of your life. You don't want her passing out. So as I lay there, just not even knowing how I was going to get through the next day, much less an entire career doing this, things seemed so hopeless, just so impossible, that as I lay there, I actually started thinking about what I had in my bathroom medicine cabinet and whether I had enough there to just exit the planet that night. It's so important to talk about burnout. Burnout can happen whether you absolutely love what you're doing or you're in a situation that's really hard on you. In both situations, you're at risk, which means everybody in this room probably is to some degree at risk. And I want to empower you with understanding it, so if it's happening to you or happens, you know what's happening, and then you know what to do to prevent it and also to heal it if it's happening. So it's overall exhaustion, it creeps up on you, and it's just what naturally happens in the mind and the body if you're trying to do too much. So it's not a sign of weakness at all, it's just what we're designed to do if we've been doing too much for too long. So let's talk about some of the symptoms. And before I do, I want to mention that a lot of them sound really similar to depression. There's a fair bit of overlap. And also there can be medical causes. For example, if you have an underactive thyroid gland. So if any of this resonates with you, I would really recommend that you see your physician and have them check you out before jumping to any conclusions about what's going on. Well, these people in this study, once they got their sleep normalized, their personalities completely changed. Their moods were better, less anxiety, can handle stress better. Your immune system needs sleep to fight out anything that might come your way. And then this is a really great motivator, and I love this piece of information, is that getting enough sleep actually promotes weight loss. And they think that a lot of the challenges with obesity in our society have to do with how sleep deprived we all are. First of all, if you get enough sleep, it actually optimizes your metabolism. It changes how your insulin works and how your body handles blood sugar. It's remarkable. And if you don't get enough sleep, now I'm telling you some yucky things, but there's good news because it can be fixed quite easily. If you're not getting enough sleep, your stomach actually produces a hormone called ghrelin. And ghrelin stimulates your appetite all day long. And it makes you crave high carbohydrate, sugary, fatty, junky foods. It's awful. But what I love about it is, say I'm working with a woman and she wants to lose weight and the cravings are driving her nuts and her appetite, she's having such a hard time resisting. If I can get her sleeping enough, often it will significantly cut those cravings and decrease the appetite, so it's much easier to reach your goals. It's brilliant. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. It's amazing. And now, I know some of you, because you are juggling so many things, you might be listening to me and say, I don't even know how I would get 15 minutes more sleep. But I have good news for you. No matter how much sleep you get, there are things that you can do that can improve the quality. If you're somebody that has a hard time resisting these foods, and I'm one of them, I actually can't even have cookies in my house because I will eat them. They'll be like, eat me, from the cupboards. Notice, if you eat this kind of stuff, notice how it makes you feel. Start paying attention. And you might be surprised, actually, by how much it drags you down and how off you feel as compared to when you eat something healthier. And along those lines, in terms of the things that are really helpful, and I've already been talking about this a fair bit, and that's the idea of just being really in tune with your body. And know that your body is your best friend. Your body is designed for you to succeed. If you listen to it, it will help you not only enjoy life more than you ever have, but to succeed more, because it knows what you need, both your body and your mind. So listen, when you start to feel hungry, eat something. When you start to feel thirsty, drink something. If you're feeling thirsty, you're already dehydrated and your brain's not going to be functioning as well. Another thing, too, is understanding hunger versus appetite. I work on that with people a lot. And a way that I can identify it for myself is like if I'm feeling really hungry and I want to eat a candy bar, I'll ask myself, what if somebody gave me an apple? Would I want the apple? And if I don't really want the apple, then I know that, I'm not actually hungry. This isn't about fueling myself, actually. I must be stressed, or maybe I'm sad. That's causing me to want the candy bar. It's not that I'm actually hungry. So it's really important to learn to listen to those cues. I'm sorry, but I don't have 15 minutes a day. I've got something fantastic for you, and it's something that I use all the time. And they taught this at the Benson Henry Institute as well, and they call it mini meditations. And they are powerful for decreasing stress hormones, calming your body, focusing your mind. And all it is you do this special kind of breathing that's very simple. Anytime in your day that you get an opportunity, like let's say you're downloading something on your computer and you've got like a minute or so, you can do it then. If you're waiting at a stoplight, if you're in line at the grocery store, this is something that you can do anytime you're just waiting. And so the way it's done is you breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, you hold for 6, then you breathe out through your mouth through 8. And I'd like us to actually do that together, okay? So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can you feel what that did? It's remarkable. Your blood pressure has just dropped. I do this with patients in the office all the time. If they have high blood pressure, I just have them do a couple of these, and I show them using the blood pressure cuff what a difference it makes. A lot of us have high blood pressure or high stress just because we're not breathing. Yeah. Thank you. I know that I've said a lot today. I've given you a lot of information. And what I'd like you to do is, my homework for you is to just think of a couple things, write them in your book. Think of a couple things Or even just think for the next couple of days and see what comes to mind in terms of what you want to focus on, just 2 things, and what your plan is going to be for implementing them into your life when you get home. And keep it really simple. You want to get a win. Don't want to put a lot of pressure. Don't want to try to do too much at once. It's not January 1st. And I'd love for you to be just true to who you really are. Get really connected with that. Identify what your most important values are and live by them. And please take such good care of yourself. You are the only you that we have. And may you always live a life that you love. Thank you very much.